like it sounds familiar.
You're right. And I'm like
his name
Coca-Cola?
alone.
If he said Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
everybody had a Coca-Cola ad come across their TV set.
Right, we all remember this song.
Gotta remember, if you don't, bro, then you've been sleeping under a rock.
Mm.
Yeah, this is a hit right here.
Didn't even know he was from Somalia. Look at that.
Hey, it aged well.
Yes.
What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchets REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. Super excited about this video. If you're new to us
and we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, alright? Join the family. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Let's go.
At number 10, we have Mount Shimbiris. Mount Shimbiris is actually the highest peak in Somalia, and it has an elevation of 2,460 meters, which works out to be 8,071 feet above sea level. It's located in the Al Madao mountain range in the Sanag region, and Shimbiris is in the Al Madao mountain range, and that's located in northern Somalia. Now, the thing about this is that there's no vehicle access here. However, if you are a visitor, you can actually stay in a tent that's located on site. Number 9 brings us Juba and Shabelle. So Juba and Shabelle are the two rivers in Somalia that have been permanently existing over time. The rivers begin in the highlands of Ethiopia, and they mainly flow southwards, and then Juba River flows into the Indian Ocean, while the Shabelle River in earlier times used to flow into the sea close to Merka. Now currently the Shabelle River reaches a spot at the southwest of Mogadishu, which is the capital of Somalia, and it will then be made up of swamps as well as dry reaches before eventually disappearing around the desert terrain at the Jilib eastern area. And one thing about Somalia is that they have tombs of sheikhs. Now these tombs are of holy men and leaders of Somalia, and the people of Somalia often conduct pilgrimages to visit these sites. Now the holy men are greatly revered as saints, and many people living in Somalia go to the tombs of a certain saint on his or her feast day every single year. So they definitely do their part in making sure that people who are important to Somalia, spiritual leaders, and respected people definitely are still remembered as the years go on. Number 7 brings us to trade in Somalia. So Somalia majorly imports machinery as well as transportation equipment, building materials, iron and steel from countries like United States, Saudi Arabia, Great Britain, Italy, China, India, among many others. However, the country does add a lot to its economy through the export of livestock, especially camel, and we're going to be talking about that a little bit later. There's also fruits like bananas, coffee, peanuts, citrus fruits, cotton and sugar cane, as well as frankincense and myrrh. Now let's talk about the literature.
So crazy, because when I was a kid, we would cross the highways, and sometime over the water, the bridges would do these things for these type of ships to pass.
Oh, yeah.
And I never really thought about it, like, oh, this is resources and shipment products that need to be sent to different countries, yo, like, our continents.
Because we were so close to the
Like,
Gulf.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of time we see these things happen right before our eyes, and we have no knowledge of it.
Yeah, but now you know.
No, facts, you know.
Now you know.
When you know, you know.
My favorite part, literature.
In Somalia, this is big and it's growing. So the country of Somalia is known for its poets. Somalia has a long-built oral tradition of storytelling and poetry, and it's been successfully passed down from generation to generation. And these stories and these poems were later written down around the 20th century, and in their poetry they talked about every aspect of life, from philosophy, history, politics, as well as just spiritual and religious praises to God. Halfway in, like I mentioned, we got to be talking about camels a little bit more. So the most widely recognized symbol is the camel. This is because the camel provides a whole lot for the people, like meat, of course, people eat camel, milk, and it's also a big mode of transportation. And having a camel can really increase your income as well as up your status if you own one. So owning a camel is definitely a big deal, and it's a symbol that has been known across the globe in association with Somalia. Pirates come in at number 4. Now, I gotta be honest, this is not the best thing to be known for, but this is still something that other nations associate with the country of Somalia, unfortunately. So especially in November of 2008, this is when Somali pirates actually seized the Sirius Star. And this is a Saudi Arabian oil tanker. And this was probably the most bold and daring exploit to date by the pirates who operate in the Indian Ocean, just off the coast of the continent of Africa. There's also been movies about this, like that movie Captain Phillips. But like I mentioned, pirates definitely not the best thing to be known for. So let's just move on to some more positive things. Like, for example, the celebrations in Somalia. People of Somalia, they love to have a good time and celebrate like no other. So Somalis are often engaged in festivities all throughout the year. And these, of course, include birthdays, weddings, celebrations for circumcision even, of course secular as well as Islamic holidays. And during these celebrations, you'll find all sorts of food there, music, whatever the case is, and even visitors are also invited to attend these celebrations. So don't be a stranger if you're in Somalia. Definitely, that's like what they're known for. Come on, celebrate with them. Now I had to include Canaan at number 2. Born Kenan Abdi Warsami, who goes by the stage name Canaan, he's a Somali-Canadian poet, rapper, singer, songwriter, and instrumentalist. Now, he rose to fame, like massive fame, with the success of the single Waving Flag, and that was chosen as Coca-Cola's promotional anthem for the 2010 FIFA World Cup. I think we all remember this song. If you're older than 10 years old, yeah, I think you remember this song.
Wait a minute. I was like, it sounds familiar.
You're right. And I'm like
his name
Coca-Cola?
alone.
If he said Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
everybody had a Coca-Cola ad come across their TV set.
Right. We all remember this song.
Gotta remember. If you don't, bro, then you've been sleeping under a rock. Yeah, this is a hit right here.
Didn't even know he was from Somalia. Look at that.
Hey, it aged well.
Yes.
Like a waving flag. I still listen to it to this day. It was awesome. And he really shed a lot of light on Somalia, where he was born, and people started to see Somalia in a different way than they saw before. Canaan continues to do so through his philanthropic work, as well as his music is heavily influenced by Somali music. And the final thing that I want to share in this episode that Somalia is famous for is they're famous for having the longest coastline on the mainland of Africa. So the country of Somalia lies on the outer edge of the Somali Peninsula, which is popularly called the Horn of Africa, and it's labeled as Africa's most homogeneous country. The population of Somalia exceeds 14 million people, and the country's terrain includes a lot of highlands, plains, and plateaus. And regardless of what the country struggles with, the truth of the matter is that it's still a beautiful place. Like, there's a lot of natural beauty there. So like I mentioned, it does have the longest coastline on Africa's mainland, and it has a sea coast stretching about 3,025 kilometers, which is about 1,880 miles. And Somalia also has a land mass of 637,657 square kilometers, which is about 246,201 square miles. And that makes up the land with about 10,320 square kilometers, which works out to be 3,980 square miles of water. Just had to throw a little bit of extra information in there. So as you can see, guys, Somalia has a lot to offer. It's definitely increasing in popularity. There's a lot to notice about this country. So thanks for joining me in this episode of 10 surprising things that Somalia is famous for. Really.
All right, you guys, we're going to stop him right there. Make sure you check his channel out. Don't know what Somalia is, just always think about the Horn of Africa. You're going to go right there to it. You can't miss it.
Yes. Love learning about Somalia. It has been very interesting. I feel like there's a lot here, like a lot of places here that we can go to learn about Somalia before we even think about going.
Yeah,
true. So that is interesting. You guys have been sharing so much with us about Somalia lately, and we're going to continue to share and cover as much as there is to cover. All right. So we hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Like this video, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell. We have enabled our super thanks if you like to support the channel that way, as well as our reaction request form is in our description box below. We'll see you soon.
Peace.